After the success of Season 1, the Football Manager Streamer Showdown returned last weekend for its second season. 8 of the best Football Manager streamers taking each other on to see who would come out on top. And then this time, they were vying to steal Lollujo's crown after his victory in Season 1. With the return of Bundesliga action, this time the players had to pick a 20-man squad with 15 players at least coming from the German top division and up to 5 wildcard picks where the drafters could choose players from other leagues. My name's Dave from Streamer FM and I'm going to be taking you through the best action from Season 2 of the Streamer Showdown. So second yellow card opted to go with Sadio Mane again as his key man, same as Season 1. He's got Kevin Strootman, Frenkie de Jong, João Felix and Lautaro Martinez as his wildcard players, of course with a mix of his Bundesliga talent. Herb the Nerd went for David Alaba as his MVP. His wildcard choices were Diego Godin, Tammy Abraham, who's top goal scorer from Season 1, Milinkovic-Savic, Rakitic and Bruno Fernandes. UnarmingPine opted to go with Harry Kane as his hitman. He only picked 4 wildcards, interestingly enough. Luis Alberto, Donnarumma and Laporte also in there. But he's gone for a couple of big picks like Upamecano, Piatek and Timo Werner. Curty splashed the cash. MVP, Mr. Cristiano Ronaldo. He also picked Marcus Rashford, Mo Salah, Rafael Varane and Trent Alexander-Arnold for those set pieces as well. Unbelievable choices from Curty. Lollujo picked his main man Virgil van Dijk once again after his antics in Season 1. Eder Militao, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Ben Chilwell alongside Memphis Depay making the cut as well for Lollujo. Dr. Benji went with Kylian Mbappe at 86 million as his key man. Andrea Belotti, N'Golo Kante and Marquinhos ter Stegen all making his wildcard choices. FoxInTheBox picked Robert Lewandowski for 70 million as his key man, alongside Jamie Vardy, Paul Pogba, Saul, Jan Oblak and Joe Gomez as his wildcard picks. He has De Costa and Mr. Jadon Sancho as well. And Zealand went for Lazari, Lionel Messi, Ciro Immobile, Fabinho and Neymar as his wildcard picks. Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo both in the same draft. Let's go on to the first fixtures. Who is looking forward to this? And Curty will host Zealand in the first game of the draft. FoxInTheBox will take on Lollujo. Herb the Nerd will take on Dr. Benji. And UnarmingPine will host second yellow card. It'll be interesting to see who can take home advantage and make the most of it in match day 1. And it was Zealand against Curty. Zealand scored an absolute beauty against Curty to give him a victory on match day 1. Jesus, look at this for a strike. Curling effort, one of the best free kicks you'll see this year on Football Manager 2020. UnarmingPine took on second yellow card and Pine did grab a win. It was Marco Reus in the 85th minute to give Pine a dramatic win in the first match of the season. Look at this, nice little ball through there for Marco Reus. And he made no mistake going through on goal. And the results for match 1 saw Curty lose out 4-3 with that Messi, beautiful Messi strike. Giving Messi that hat-trick. FoxInTheBox and Lollujo with a goalless draw. Herb the Nerd got a massive victory against Dr. Benji as well. Tammy Abraham, top goal scorer from Season 1, scoring twice. And UnarmingPine with Marco Reus beating second yellow card 4-2. Marco Reus and Harry Kane both getting braces each. Moving on to match 2, Dr. Benji and Curty both looking for their first victories. Lollujo will take on UnarmingPine. Second yellow card will host Herb the Nerd. And Zealand will be taking on FoxInTheBox. And it was second yellow card who made the most of it. It beating Herb the Nerd. And it was this goal from Lautaro Martinez in the end being the important one.
You have these things on the end of your arms. They're called hands. As a goalkeeper, you're supposed to fucking use them.
I just this image of your goalkeeper holding like 2 mop handles with like faces on the end of them now. That is a very tight angle.
How's he been beaten at the near post?
By Lautaro Martinez, no less.
And Lollujo needed this goal. Virgil van Dijk with those corner hacks as normal to beat UnarmingPine in the second game of the Streamer Showdown.
Corner hacks.
So the results for match day 2 are as follows. Dr. Benji getting a massive 2-1 win over Curty. Andrea Belotti scoring the pivotal goal there. Lollujo there with that late Van Dijk header gave him the win over UnarmingPine. Second yellow card smashed. Herb the Nerd, Lautaro Martinez grabbing a brace in that one. And Zealand giving himself another victory. That's 6 points out of a possible 6 by beating Fox in the box. Lionel Messi with an 84th minute winning penalty. And match 3, we'll see Curty take on second yellow card Dr. Benji hosting Zealand. Herb the Nerd taking on Lollujo, and Fox in the Box needing desperately a win against UnarmingPine. And it was Curty versus second yellow card, and Curty demolished second yellow card. After second yellow card winning 5-0 in his last game, this one finished 7-0. Patrick Schick scoring a hat-trick. And Dr. Benji desperately needed a victory as well. This time taking on Zealand, who these two had a little bit of a rivalry in Season 1. And it was Andre Belossi. Benji didn't even seem surprised. It seemed like it was a routine win.
I mean, set up your tactics better, mate. I mean, all I'll say is, if you want lessons, I'm going to be on Fiverr soon. So, for $6.99, you get an hour session. So I don't know if that's of interest to you or anyone in your chat.
And going into the results from match 3, Curty, confirmation of his huge 7-0 victory over second yellow card. Dr. Benji smashing Zealand 5-0. Belotti and Mbappe both with braces in that game. Herb the Nerd beat Lollujo 2-1. And UnarmingPine grabbing another victory to leave Fox in the Box winless after match day 3. Match 4 would see Foxy take on Herb. Lollujo face off against Curty. Second yellow card taking on Dr. Benji. And Zealand hosting UnarmingPine. Foxy needed a win. He really did. And he grabbed that goal there. Robert Lewandowski scoring in the 91st minute against Herb the Nerd. Foxy just wasn't quite convinced, was he?
Is it bad that I'm still not confident?
Fucking hell, look at this.
I just give up, man.
But in the end, he did manage to hold on to that win to give him a massive 3 points. Zealand also needed, he had a good start to the tournament, but defeat against Benji wasn't ideal, but he did manage to grab a late goal. It was Ciro Immobile, which gave him another big win, this time against UnarmingPine. And confirmation of the results for match 4. Fox in the Box grabbing a massive 4-3 win over Herb the Nerd. Lollujo beating Curty 3-2 with a late penalty there. Second yellow card beating Dr. Benji 2-1. And Zealand smashing UnarmingPine. Match 5 will see Fox in the Box take on Dr. Benji. Lollujo take on second yellow card UnarmingPine. Face off against Curty. And Zealand take on Herb the Nerd. And it was Curty who grabbed another big win. Marcus Rashford scoring. Curty delighted with that. That's a big 3 points for him. And Lollujo chasing again. He needs that crown. And in the end, he did manage to beat second yellow card. A massive defeat again for second yellow card. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, after Curty smashed him, it was a win for Lollujo. Confirmation there of Lollujo's 7-0 win. Benji beating Foxy 3-1. UnarmingPine losing out to Curty 5-2. And Zealand grabbing a nice 3-1 victory over Herb the Nerd as we moved on to the penultimate game of the league format. Curty taking on Fox in the Box. Dr. Benji taking on Lollujo. Herb the Nerd facing off against Pine. And second yellow card hosting Zealand. And it was Pine who was facing off against Herb the Nerd. And Herb just wasn't too impressed with this game. Timo Werner putting the game to bed and giving Pine the victory.
What? Tammy scored an own goal and done
Oh
two of
my
those.
word.
In what world do
Look,
you
it's-
play
it's-
as a
look-
striker?
Oh no, it's Gnabry, my
Oh,
bad.
it's Gnabry. What world are you playing that sort of back pass? Oh my god.
Oh
that
dear
is-
me.
And it was the old faithful again. Ben Chilwell crossing it in for Virgil van Dijk to give Lollujo a massive win over Dr. Benji. So, confirmation of the results for match 6. Curty beating Fox in the Box 3-2. Dr. Benji losing out to Lollujo 2-1. Herb the Nerd losing to UnarmingPine 3-1. And second yellow card getting a massive 3 points, beating Zealand 2-0. And after match day 6, Lollujo taking on Zealand in the final day. The winner of that one will claim top spot. Fox in the Box needs to win and hope Herb loses to make sure he doesn't finish bottom of the league. And the fixtures for match day 7 are as follows. Curty to host Herb. Dr. Benji taking on Pine. Second yellow card facing off against Fox in the Box. And Zealand will host Lollujo in a top of the table battle on the final day. But it was Herb and Curty who had the network saver cause reigniting. Herb wasn't impressed with this goal that Curty managed to score.
I'm out.
But it was Zealand who managed to grab top spot. It left it late. But Ciro Immobile scoring in the 90th minute to ensure Zealand would beat Kev to take top spot. And there's confirmation of the results. Kev did have a red card. Tolisso getting sent off there. But second yellow card and Fox in the box drawing 1 goal each. Herb losing out to Curty. And Dr. Benji beating UnarmingPine 3-2. Belotti, Brandt and Demirbay scored a 94th minute winner for Benji. And the league table looks a little bit like this. Zealand winning the league on the Saturday with 15 points. Fox in the box finishing bottom with just 5 points. Of course, this creates seeding for our knockout stages for the Sunday, when the fixtures are as follows. As Fox in the box will take on Zealand, bottom versus top. Herb the Nerd will face off against Lollujo. Second yellow card will host Dr. Benji, and UnarmingPine will take on Curty. Of course, there's 2 legs for every round now on, and second yellow card was able to, thrash Dr. Benji. There's no kind way of saying it.
Shame.
I didn't want it to go like this. I kind of wanted a bit more of a...
Can I play second game? Just sort of... Oh, what? We can hear that. She's just gone. Matt's girlfriend, long-time girlfriend, she's gone. He's been actually doing anything.
Oh, she's calling you out, mate.
And Zealand did not have a good time. Jamie Vardy scoring a hat-trick to give Fox in the box a massive, despite having 10 men, a massive 5-goal win against the American. And he leaves himself a hell of a lot to do in the second leg. And the results are as follows. Second yellow card beating Dr. Benji 6-0. Bearing in mind, second yellow card has lost 2 games 7-0 in this tournament so far. Foxy get a massive win despite having 10 men for almost 90 minutes against Zealand. 5-1 win there. Vardy scored a hat-trick. Lollujo scored a late goal to take the advantage into leg 2 against Herb the Nerd. And UnarmingPine having a 3-1 advantage over CURTY'S as we move on to the second legs. All to play for in a couple of games. We've seen strange results throughout the tournament so far. So let's go and see who will get themselves a place in the semi-finals. And it was Herb the Nerd. He managed to get a goal in the end. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough to see him through to the next round. Zealand, the Tinkerman. I mean, look at the changes. Look at that formation. He was desperate to get something out of this game from Foxy. And he left it late to equalise. One of the best comebacks you're likely to see ever in Streamer Showdown history for however long this goes on. Zealand turned it around from a 5-1 deficit. And in the end, he did manage to win it in extra time. This goal from the penalty spot, one of the last kicks of the game to wrap it up in style.
That is one of the most remarkable ties in Football Manager I've ever seen.
And there we go. Results from the quarter-final. Curty, unfortunately, knocked out. He lost 2-1 to Pine. Benji, despite his gallant effort, winning 4-2. He's out on aggregate 8-4. Lollujo and Herb drawing 3-3. But that sees Lollujo out, and Zealand's unbelievable comeback sees him through to the semi-final, where second yellow card will face off against Lollujo, and Pine will take on Zealand, with the first leg coming up right now. So much quality between all of these teams, so it could go either way. Lollujo and second yellow card 0-0 for the whole game, and it came down to one of the last kicks of the first leg. Lollujo stealing it with the ball in here. Milo Rashika arriving late to give Lollujo a lead going into leg 2. And Pine from the penalty spot to wrap up a big semi-final first leg lead. It was Harry Kane from the penalty spot in the 78th minute, and it was 5-1. And Pine loved every minute of it. And there's confirmation of those results. Pine 5-1 up against Zealand. Of course, Zealand in the last round, turning around a 5-1 deficit. But is he going to be able to do it again? Lollujo with that late 91st minute goal. Rashika gives him the lead going into leg 2 of the semi-final. And it was UnarmingPine who, in the end, held on to win against Zealand. And he'll be happy with that. Pine, of course, not finishing too high in the league. He's going to see himself in the final here. And it was Timo Werner to grab this goal that wrapped up the tie completely. And in the end, Lollujo beating second yellow card. Well, what did you expect? Ben Chilwell to Virgil van Dijk. It's just something, we come to expect now in the Streamer Showdown. And Kev has delivered it again. as he advances into the final for the second consecutive time. Is he going to retain his title? He's going to be facing off against UnarmingPine. There is confirmation of the results. Lollujo beating second yellow card 2-1, 3-1 on aggregate. And Zealand losing out 3-2 in the second leg, losing 8-3 on aggregate. As we move into the final, UnarmingPine is going to have home advantage in the first leg as he takes on Lollujo in the final. Is Lollujo going to retain his crown, or will Pine snatch it from Kev? And it was Pine who took the lead. He was really, really happy with that. He was a bit of a wind-up merchant throughout the Sunday evening. But Kev wouldn't let it get to him. Despite the early goal there by Pine, he did go 2-0 up as well. And Pine surely thought he had one hand on the Streamer Showdown Season 2 trophy. He even had time to wind up Kev as well.
Attacking, I don't like it.
Just look at the camera.
I don't like it. Right, come on, Gareth. Let's go for it. Look at Gareth flying through. Coman's in acres of...
But it backfired as Kingsley Coman grabbed himself a goal for Kev to make it 2-1 and put Lollujo back into the game.
Well, that was poorly timed.
And it came down to a late penalty to give Lollujo another goal and take it level going in to the second leg of the final. Confirmation of the result. Timo Werner and Odriazola's opening goals cancelled out by Kingsley Coman and Axel Witzel's goals, which means it's all to play for going into the second leg. But Kev took an early lead. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang with another goal in just 2 minutes. And then Kev doubled his lead. It was Aubameyang again, laying it off this time to Kingsley Coman, who puts it into the back of the net. 4 minutes gone, and Kev knew that he looked like he was going to be retaining the Streamer Showdown.
We've had one good goal out of you in the entire tournament, and you've done nothing for the rest of it. Gareth with the cross. It falls to Eder Militao, who's a centre-back who I shouldn't be playing at right-back. Lovely, lovely, lovely. One more time. Havertz is in. Ben Chilwell, the assist machine. Kai Havertz, that famous aerial assassin.
I mean, with the formation I'm playing, if you don't...
I've seen your formation. It's interesting. It's very interesting. He's playing a back two currently. And somehow this isn't a penalty.
And in the end, Lollujo put the game to bed. A little bit scrappy, but he won't mind. Yusuf Poulsen scoring in the 81st minute to give Kev an unbelievable victory in the second half. UnarmingPine, despite being 2-0 up in the first leg of the final, loses out, and Kev Lollujo is the winner of Streamer Showdown Season 2. Who would have thought it? Who would have thought he would have been able to retain his trophy? In confirmation of the result, 5-0 win for Lollujo against UnarmingPine. 7 goals in the end, unanswered for Pine in the final. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Coman, Militao, Havertz, and Yusuf Poulsen scoring the goals. And there we go, Lollujo beating Dr. Benji, FoxInTheBox, HERBTHENERD, CURTY'S, Zealand, second yellow card, and UnarmingPine for the second season running. Is there anybody out there in the community that can beat Kev right now? He is on fire. And before we finish off, here's the overall player stats. Lionel Messi and Timo Werner finishing level with 8 goals apiece. A little bit lower than Tammy Abraham's 11 from Season 1. Ben Chilwell getting the most assists for the second consecutive season. And the highest average rating went to CURTY'S Marcus Rashford with an 8.02. And to finish off, here is the team of the tournament. Manuel Neuer, Ben Chilwell, Van Dijk, Upamecano and Lazari, Bentaleb, Alberto and Bellarabi make up a midfield three. Rashford and Messi as our wingers, and Timo Werner up front with Hradecky, Militao, Mane, Coman, Forsberg, Thiago and Da Costa on the bench. But there we go, guys. That is Season 2 of the Football Manager Streamer Showdown complete. Kev has held on to his title for another season. Let us know in the comment section down below which content creators you would like to see take Kev's crown off him in potentially Season 3. Hit the like button down below, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Plenty of Football Manager content coming up on this channel. WeStreamFM. A big up to all the guys who are taking part again. And until next time, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. And I'm sure I'll see you all very soon for Season 3 of the Streamer Showdown.